Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Hi everyone, welcome to the Oracle Show. That was a nervy performance. If you thought that this game was going to be a cakewalk, then you just haven't been watching Arsenal versus Southampton on a historic basis. Arsenal and Southampton has always been a nervy game because Southampton has always been Arsenal's bogey team. I knew about this back in 2015-16 when we lost 4-0 to them at St. Mary's Stadium. And even if they are fighting the relegation, even if whatever situation they may be in the league, no matter how bad they are, they'll always make Arsenal versus Southampton a tough game. And fun fact, in that 2015-16 game when Arsenal lost 4-0, guess who was there? Virgil van Dijk. So even stars can come out of that game. And even if we were to look at 2022-2023 season, especially when we drew 3-3 with Southampton, it was important to make sure that we took them seriously. And today was the case where it was another nervy game. Honestly, I know that a lot of you watched the team news and saw the team selection and were surprised, shocked, probably scared to see what was going to happen in this game because Thomas Partey was playing right back. We didn't have Timber, we didn't have White, and somehow, some way, we're still surviving these games. We're finding ways to win, which is a really good thing, and we're still able to be very, very competitive. And it's not even the fact that I can look at Arsenal and say, why didn't we get the depth? Why didn't we do more in the transfer window? Because we can't do much if our starting right back and the backup right back just aren't fit. And also, we had Tomiyasu back on the bench, and we have all these players that can play in multiple positions, but even so we still need to rely on players to provide a makeshift solution, which is, what can I say, it's unfortunate, but we just got to do with what we have. Kai Havertz, 7 in 7. I can't say more about him. What a great finish that was to get us back in the game after we were 1-0 down. In the first half we had 70% of the possession, we had a lot of chances, but we just weren't finishing our opportunities. And what can I say about Bukayo Saka? 7 assists, and it's only the start of October. I know somewhere Mesut Ozil must be very, very proud, and he managed to get the final goal as well, which killed off the game. And now we come to this age-old debate on whether Bukayo Saka is world class. Now that term is thrown about a lot for any number of players. This player is world class, that player is world class, and that term has now been diluted. I think for me there's two factors that make you world class. One is your ability to change the game, whether you're a match winner, and secondly, how well you do in Europe or how well you do in international tournaments as well. I think some examples of world-class players could be Van Dijk, Mbappe, Haaland, Modric, and I think I can comfortably say that Bukayo Saka is becoming that world-class player that we were building and seeing over these seasons, and he's really taken on the talisman role at Arsenal, and I'm just so happy to see him do that. And I know that especially in this season he will provide a big role. I think with Raheem Sterling, him coming into the side over Martinelli, I think it was a bit harsh the way some people are getting at him. He was a bit unlucky to be dispossessed in that area, but like I said, I'm not really expecting too much from Raheem Sterling this season. I do expect him to come in and provide backup while other players rest, and that was the case with Trossard and with Martinelli. And I know that because in the long term there's a good chance that he won't be here past this season, but I think for him to improve and for him to provide more this season, he needs to get a good run of games. And I think that especially with the team selection that we had this game, where we brought in Sterling, Jesus, Jorginho and Partey onto the right back position, it's important to realize that we can't play our best 11 every single game. We need to rotate when we can, because there's a lot of games we need to get through the season, at least 70 odd games, and it can go even more than that, especially on how far we get in certain competitions. So it's not just a game of just 11 players on the pitch, it's also about the other 25-man squad that we have, in which everyone needs to play a part in. Martinelli got a goal at a very good time, and I just think that as a sub, there's something about him that just provides that sort of energy that other players don't really have. And I saw this especially when Unai Emery was at the club, and when we bought brought Martinelli on as a sub, he was just able to provide something different and managed to save games. A little bit how Trossard is doing right now. Don't get me wrong, Trossard is the 12th man, he is the super sub, but Martinelli was able to come on today and managed to get the game that could make it from 1-1 to 2-1. So I'm happy that he's managed to score another goal and hopefully he continues from that. But one thing I'd like to say about one player who disappointed me and is kind of disappointing me is Gabriel Jesus. He's missed a lot of chances today, and we're coming up to a point where it's going to be 30 games and he's only scored 3 goals. That means that in every 10 games he scores 1 goal. I don't know what more I can say about Gabriel Jesus. He's on one of the highest wages at the club. You expect someone that is on one of the highest wages at the club to be starting game in and game out and to be providing a key role, but he's been benched, and rightfully so. And I would be more forgiving if he was a younger player, but he's not. He's a player that's supposed to be going into his prime. I am a little bit sympathetic with injuries and stuff like that, but look, if you are a top player, then you need to be able to find ways to get it done, and if he's not, then we really need to be looking at different solutions. And especially if you remember with Ozil's contract, when he had one of the highest wages at the club, then I don't see why we can't hold Gabriel Jesus to that similar standard. Hopefully he finds a way to get a goal and just really make a run into the team, because so far Trossard's done better in that position than Gabriel Jesus has, and we need more from him because I'm not happy with his performances. I'm not happy with the amount he's providing so far, especially with what he's on. Okay, he's come on as subs in certain games, but we need more. And yeah, now we're going into the international break. Another international break. I'm sick and tired of these goddamn international breaks. I just want to see club football. Leave the international football for the summer when there's the Euros, the World Cup or something like that. And I don't want to see any of our players going to play abroad for their national teams, especially at this moment in time, because so many of our players have got injured, especially with Zinchenko, with Odegaard. Calafiori picked up a knock in the last international break. So it's just not a good time. But yeah, we go on to Bournemouth on the 19th of October, I believe. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it goes. Anyhow, hope to see you all for the next game. Please like and subscribe, and hope to see you all soon. Bye bye.